You're having a good day? Always hoping you're having a good day. I say that every time. I probably won't be able to do a video this evening, but I want to do a video on the cost of neuropathy. I had a patient in earlier today. It has neuropathy, and it's costing him his life in many ways. Now, when we talk about it costing him, look, my glasses are all crooked. When we talk about it costing him his life, what I mean by that is it is costing him his enjoyment of life. It is costing him his enjoyment of activities. He's actually in a prison, right? So when we talk about, I mentioned this in a video the other day, you talk about being in a prison. Many of you would go, you would spend money to avoid prison. You would say, I'm going to hire the best defender, the best attorney. I'm going to hire the best guy to keep me out of prison, without realizing that by not being able to live the life the way you want to, even remotely, you are already in a prison. A prison is the four walls of your house, the four walls of your car. Hi, Loretta. Many of you are living in a prison. I want to help you avoid a prison. So far this year, we've had we're at the 9th of January, and we've had 78 people contact our office in some way, shape, or form. 78 since the beginning of this new year, and it's only January 9th. 78 people wanting to figure out how to resolve their health problems. Not all of them will come in to our office, but that's how many people this year will come in. So I didn't need this guy to start care with us. That wasn't the idea. To get him to spend hard-earned money with us. The idea is to help that individual. But it occurred to me that people don't understand the other financial costs to having a disease. So I did a little bit of research, just did a quick Google search to find out what it costs for someone to have neuropathy, okay? Because this gentleman's care plan in our office, which we were going to help him with, was going to be, and I'm being straight with you here, several $1,000s, okay, for us to do all the care that we need to do. Some of it covered by insurance, some of it not. So, but this is the cost of having neuropathy if you don't fix the problem. Now I'm going to look away from the camera here a little bit so I can read this. Nerve blocks, getting nerve blocks, thousands of dollars, okay? It costs thousands of dollars, and you don't put necessarily a limit on that, right? Because how many you're going to get? I had a person from high school call me, actually sent me a Facebook message yesterday, the day before yesterday, just in a bad way, physically and spiritually, having lots of stress. She'd had 16 different pain injections, 16, at probably an average of about $600 a piece, right? So that's thousands of dollars. You can't put a cap on that, but let's assume you get 6 nerve blocks times $1,000, we're at $6,000. A regular old wheelchair, just a regular old wheelchair, about $300, okay? If you opt for a power chair or power scooter, between $1,500 and $5,000. Let's go middle of the road. Let's say that's $3,000. A lift to put the scooter or the power chair on the back of your car, about $300. A toe amputation, one single toe. If you start losing the blood flow to your feet because the nerves are dying and whatnot, on average $9,115. All right. A lower leg amputation, if you have like a diabetic neuropathy and you have to lose the lower leg, about $44,000. All right. A wheelchair ramp at your house, between $1,500 and $3,000. So let's call it $2,250. All right. A walker, if you need a walker to get around your home, $20. A TENS unit, between $150 and $700. Let's go on the low end. I know they're actually fairly inexpensive now. Anti-seizure medications, okay? Anti-seizure medications, what we mean by anti-seizures, gabapentin, Neurontin, Lyrica. These are anti-seizure medications. They are not pain medications. They were developed to handle seizures. They slow down your brain. You can watch my other videos on that. It's not, they're quite detrimental to our health. So anti-seizure medication, on average, $300 a month. When do you stop taking that, right? So how often are you going to have to take that medication? Every month at an average cost of $300 a month. I can't even add that in, right? So let's say you take that for a year, right? So How am I going to do this math here? Well, you get the idea. I'm at $65,000 already, and we haven't equated in the cost of anti-seizure medication. They're going to end up putting you on antidepressant medication. Most antidepressants run about $400 a month. That's what your insurance covers, right? So that's a never-ending thing. You're going to be on these medications for what they assume you're going to be on it for life. A nerve conduction study, about $700. MRIs, another $800 for an MRI. X-rays, call that another $150 if they have X-rays. A vascular study. So we're at like $75,000, right? To handle a neuropathy case. And you know how much better this person's going to be? So let's say this person actually went through and they spent all that money, or their insurance company spent that money. What if all this was free to you, right? It was totally free. Are you free? Are you free? All this is covered by insurance, every single bit of it covered by insurance, and you're not any freer, okay? You're still in prison. 75 grand, and you're not any better, right? Some of that lost a limb, right? $44,000. Now, all right, and your insurance covers it, so $79,000. And let's say you don't go that route, right? You don't have to lose the lower limb, all right? And you don't have to lose the toe. So we're at $26,000, and that doesn't include any medication. The ongoing medication cost that is not factored in at all, somewhere around $800, maybe $1,000 a month. That never ends, and you're still in prison. Folks, when you understand that that is a lot of money, right? That is a lot of money, and the medications never stop. People do, doctors, and I shouldn't say doctors, it's not doctors. The industry of healthcare does not want you to be better. You're a cash cow. You are a cash cow to them, all right? You and your insurance keeps the world going round here in the United States. All right, case of diabetes, one single case of type 2 diabetes is on average, you can look this up yourself, it takes about $14,000 a year to manage a single case of type 2 diabetes. That's the average, 14 grand a year to manage one case of type 2 diabetes. Multiply that, the average person with diabetes has it and has to manage it for 40 years. For 40 years, right? Ready for this? $560,000. You are worth $560,000 to the medical pharmaceutical industry to have diabetes. You think they're going to tell you to change your diet? No, they're not going to change your diet. I saw a thing today that somebody said, oh, keto diet's bad. Look, it can be for some people. My mother-in-law happens to have lost 74 pounds doing keto. Do you think she's sicker because of that? Hell no, she's not sicker. She was 320 pounds. She lost 74 and still losing. All right. She's a hell of a lot healthier. She's in her early 70s. She's significantly healthier. We did stem cell injection in her hip. She's getting around more. She's significantly healthier. But guess what? She's not. She's not worth 560 grand to a pharmaceutical company in in a medical industrial complex that is just trying to keep people sick. It's not your doctor's trying to keep you sick. He's just following the rules. He's just playing the game that he was taught. So we're talking about the cost of neuropathy. If you've got neuropathy, you have to understand that it's you can actually correct. You guys have seen me reference this book before, Cartilage and Nerve Regeneration. 2,000 studies that show that nerves can be regenerated. But if nerves get regenerated, you're not worth $85,000, $75,000 to a pharmaceutical company. Actually, that's not even it. Let's just go back to this. Let's say you have neuropathy for 20 years. I'm going to do the math. 20 years times 12 months in a year times $800 a month, $192,000 worth of medication. Just if you're on an antidepressant and a Neurontin or gabapentin or a Lyrica, $192,000. That's what you'd be worth if you took those medications for 20 years. Just those two, $192,000, one person. Folks, that's ridiculous. I'm sorry. When you could fix the problem, guy, we did a couple of trial treatments with him to see if it was going to give him some relief, to see if we were going to be able to help him. He said in 2 treatments, he noticed that he had less tingling and numbness in his toes. 2 treatments, about an hour each time, maybe an hour and a half each time, just to see what was going to happen. 2 treatments. and he was starting to feel a difference. Said he felt more relief in his feet than he had in a while. So 3 hours worth of time. Now, total, we're going to probably spend about 45 hours of time with this gentleman, 45, maybe 50 hours of time with him. And between some things he has to do at home and whatnot to help regenerate those nerves and some dietary changes, he certainly got some effort and financial investment in that. But it's not even going to remotely touch $25,000, much less $192,000, and he's going to get to come off the medication. How cool is that, right? So listen, the cost of neuropathy. That's it right there. Those are the numbers. Cost of neuropathy. It's a lot of money. A lot of money when it can actually be corrected. You can prevent it too. So Loretta, I'm a type 2 diabetic. You're right. All I want to do is push meds. Never been referred to a dietitian, or they have never discussed any way to get off meds. Yeah, that $560,000. It is diabetes. Type 2 diabetes is the single most expensive disease to the American population. I don't know what's like in other countries. I don't have the research on that. But diabetes costs the American population more than any other disease. Okay? Any other disease. So, and get this, every major university study that's been done on type 2 diabetes says that diet alone could change 95%. Fix, totally handle like 90, maybe it was 92%, can't remember the exact number, but like 92% of all cases of type 2 diabetes can be totally handled, 100% handled with diet alone. And yet this lady here, Loretta, who commented on there, said she has never been referred to a dietitian, right? So how screwed up is that, right? Do they really want to fix diabetes? I will never, ever, ever, ever give a dime to the American Diabetes Association for research, because they're only funding trying to come up with other medications. So they're basically the funding arm to try to help gain some traction for more pharmaceutical companies. That's what I believe. So never give a single dime to them. Anyway, I hope you found this helpful. Please share this. If you know someone's got neuropathy, have them understand that there's things that can be done. Loretta, and now neuropathy in my feet. You can do something about it, Loretta. Come see us. I don't know if you're in this area or not, but there are things that can be done. Research has proven that you can fix and handle nerves. So now nerves are completely dead. Well, nobody's reviving the dead around here, but you get the idea. Please hit that share button. We appreciate you commenting, and we will see you next time. Bye now.